Hi everybody, I'm from an organization called Young Chicago Authors that inspires young people to write, and I'm here with two other poets and we're here to read poetry. So, this is how the trains make me feel. This is a poem about trains. So, at 18, I decided to break free from my life as a sheltered child in the suburbs and ride the freedom trains that spread like veins across the face of the city. Poetry called to me from the depths of Division Street. I wanted to be a young Chicago author, so once a week, I rode the train to gain some inspiration for my writing, equipped with a pocket full of quarters. I began to familiarize myself with this system of transportation. One big metallic octopus extending its 8 tentacle-like trains across the neighborhoods like retractable hands catching people in the palm to pull them into the heart of Chicago. Instantly, I was amazed by the things I would see on the train. Each stop was like a Polaroid picture that I would look out the window and the train would pick up speed and the scenery would change. I would always stare at the passengers that travel on these trains. I started wearing huge shades to shield my eyes so I could stare at people, the stories they must have to tell. Like the woman in white, with the coin slot scar in the middle of her back. Or the 4 teenage boys who got on the train just to make a lot of noise and harass other passengers. In 2 months of riding the train, I've experienced more than I have in the 14 years of my sad life in the suburbs. But now that summer has to end, my adventures on the train will come to a standstill as I go back to school in the fall. But I'll ride the train again, maybe in the middle of winter, to recite poetry to random strangers, and I wonder if they'll wonder about me and the stories I have to tell. Up next is Malcolm. Alright, up next is Benj. Alright, up next is Malcolm.
I too am a student from Young Chicago Authors, and this is a poem about the Redline that I'm doing. My name is Malcolm London. Redline trains resemble my blood veins, always running through the body of Chicago with a purpose. My eyes like red eyes. They see more than cameras do on trains. We all see a lot on trains, but the change still remains the same, non-existent. To us, non-existent are the people who treat trains like homes. We ignore homeless people like America taught us to, like we were trained to be like trains. We stay on track and on time. We listen to instructions in case of emergency and remain on trains like we were trained to be. We wait on trains like the second coming. Trains are purgatory as we wait on our exit. No one knows where anyone else will end up to be trained. We ride Redline trains like they were our blood veins running through the body of Chicago with a purpose. With oblivious red eyes, we can't see the emergencies, just the instructions. So just remain on trains, cause we train to. And change is non-existent. We be non-existent. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Benj, and this is my poem that I wrote about the train. I hop on the train and sit across from a 46-year-old man whose name I imagine to be Chuck. Chuck wears a red plaid shirt that doesn't make him a lumberjack, khaki pants that don't stretch to his ankles, white socks that cover what the pants fail to, and tennis shoes, although he never plays tennis. They're just easier on his feet. Chuck also carries around a blue knapsack from when he was younger. Red backpacks were fashionable then, but Chuck carried a blue knapsack. In a crowd, he looked like a drop of water surrounded by fire. Chuck uses glasses with plain brass frames. They were on sale. Chuck doesn't earn much money. He works in a cubicle in the center of the floor, just another bee in the honeycomb. There aren't windows there or hexagons. He doesn't gossip at the water cooler or grab a beer with the guys after work. Chuck goes home. Chuck reads lots of comic books. His favorite villain is Beta Ray Bill. Like Chuck, he is often overlooked. But today Chuck is reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire long after the Deathly Hallows has been published. Chuck doesn't get out much. His skin is pale and terribly sensitive to the sun. He applies SPF 60 sunscreen every half an hour, especially to his upper cheeks. When Chuck's cheeks are burned, he looks embarrassed and people look at him. Chuck hates to be looked at. He doesn't exercise and it shows. Chuck is unmarried but wears a wedding ring anyway. It gives Chuck and us the illusion that he is happy. Chuck had a girlfriend in college, but he doesn't like to talk about it. He has been single since. Chuck still lives with his mother. His dad left when he was 7, and now Chuck has issues asserting himself. He did the cool kid's homework, he does the rich guy's reports. His mother used to push him to better himself until she realized it was fruitless and left him alone. Chuck will live in his mother's basement until she dies, and then he might move upstairs, but probably not. He will die alone in that house, probably in his sleep, and it will take a good month before anybody notices. Of course, these are just speculations. I could be wrong. His name could be Charlie. Thank you.